are the oldest steakhouse family in the city of Chicago, maybe one of the oldest in the country, serving the finest steak in the city of Chicago, and one of the best atmospheres in the city of Chicago.
I don't think that's quite accurate.
Okay.
I like to think that we're serving the finest steak in the country.
Right.
Okay. When people come here, they're like coming into my home. I tell my staff, I say, you know, without the customer, you don't have a restaurant. So the customer, right or wrong, is always right.
We've tried to instill in our service that you are to anticipate the needs of the customer, be back from the customer, not to be fully engaged in being, as my father likes to say, being part of the party. And because of that, I think we have an older form of service, which is it's more conservative and more staid, but very attentive and very clean.
My big concern is that some big developer will come here one day and offer us a ton of money to build a high-rise here. And that'll be the end of the Erie Café.
I don't think that's going to happen. No, we're happy. We're happy.
So Candace, you say that the Erie Cafe is overflowing with great things. Tell us why you chose it.
I love Erie Cafe. I love the atmosphere. I love the building. I love how when you walk in, it doesn't matter if you've been there the first time or 9 times or 100 times. They greet you. They seat you. The wait staff is so helpful and actually seems like they want to be waiting on you. And there's something on the menu for everyone. So it's great we take all our out-of-town guests there because we know whether they want a real Chicago steak or a pasta dish or chicken, you can find something there that is great.
Now, is it safe to call this place a steakhouse?
They
call themselves a cafe.
I know, they call it a cafe. I call it a steakhouse. It's also rated as one of America's best Italian restaurants. So I don't know what you call it. I call it good food.
I like steaks, and I didn't expect that. You know, when I saw Erie House Cafe,
okay.
Erie Cafe, I was expecting like a diner, kind of like after hours kind of spot.
Yeah.
So when I went to the website, I was like, oh, they have steaks. So I was really excited. I guess for me, it's just like, what's the difference between a $30 steak and a $60 steak? And it wasn't necessarily wow, but the experience was
good.
good.
And your potatoes with it.
That's true. I did enjoy like the thin cut French fried potato thing going on. That was nice, and they kind of brought a big one out. It was. I enjoyed myself, but it wasn't like.
Didn't blow you out of the water.
Well, I think it's hard. I mean, steakhouses are like that. You know, you go to $30 steakhouse or you go to $180 steakhouse. It's like, how big is the difference? But I enjoyed it.
Wendy, what do you think?
Well,
Oh, no.
I really didn't like it. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
And I will say, first of all, I do feel like I've never been there. I feel like the place has an identity crisis, and I'm so sorry.
no.
But, you know, first of all, it's called a cafe, and I was expecting it to be more lighter fare, and then when I got in, the waiter was really indifferent to us. He didn't offer us a wine list. He didn't really, you know, and the atmosphere, I felt like all of the stuff that was hanging on the walls, I felt like I was in a really giant basement. When I go for a steak, a $50 steak meal, like I want someone who's going to give me good service but be reserved. And I didn't feel like they really I was like, well, what do you have here that's good? Well, everybody likes our steaks and chops. That was the description I got. I was like, okay, well then I guess I'll have a steak.
I had a similar experience to Wendy.
Yeah.
Where our waiter was very indifferent to us kind of too, but I took it as a part of like their waiting style. There seemed to be this kind of guy who's kind of like the quarterback, and he's telling people, get the water, do this.
Yeah.
And so he kind of took more care to us, you know, is your food good? Can I refill your water? Than our actual waiter did. But I also agree on the identity complex. Like, well, you go to when you go to the front door, you can see that it's an older restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, they have this history.
Right.
But when you walk through, you can kind of see as they're transitioning, like they're making some modern upgrades to make it kind of like trendy and fit the scene
that
now.
whole building actually used to be like a meat lot, like a cool, you know, they did that. That's their style.
I also feel like when I go, like I want a really cold martini. I want a great steak that is served to me with some sort of style. And I also have this like thing about wanting my crumbs combed with the little comby thing. And they never came by at all, and we just sat there like in our crumbs the whole time. And I kept thinking, you know, well, we didn't even have dessert because I was like, you know what, screw it. If I have
you
to
didn't
sit
have
here,
dessert?
Well, I was like, if I'm going to have to sit here
Yeah.
in my crumbs, I might as well just go home to my toddler and have ice cream.
Candace, who goes to this restaurant? What's the crowd like?
You know, the crowd is It's a lot of everything. I mean, there's definitely tourists there. The bar is always crowded, so it's kind of a local neighborhood feel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Kind of
mean?
hidden.
But
it is. It's very hidden,
And
it's
it
very.
seems like they go out of their way to keep it hidden.
Yeah, they do.
And I do
You
think-
know or you don't
I
know.
will
kind of
say
Yeah.
that I felt like the people that have been there before were getting better service than we were. I mean, I felt significantly like we were like,
Well,
who
and
are
I got to
you?
tell
What
you,
do
the
you want?
first time I ever went there, 5 or 6 years ago, it was right after I had run the Chicago Marathon, and I was in sweatpants, and I did not look my best. And they, ushered me right in, sat me down, brought me, a drink right away, and it's very unpretentious. The patio, I don't know if you ate outside
didn't
at all.
see
It was
that.
cold.
It was
They
cold
didn't
when
have
you
it
went.
open,
Yeah, but the patio is always very crowded during a weeknight or a weekend.
right along the
Right
river.
along the
There's a
river,
lot of
beautiful.
old guys.
I think what's different about it and why I really like it is it's not a scene. I don't have to
Yeah, that's true.
doll myself up and make sure it's a very laid back place with really great steaks. I usually get a strip steak, but sometimes I can be swayed into the prime rib or the pepper steak's really good, which is a fillet cut. I love the baked clams. I don't know if you had those for appetizers, but I think they have great baked clams. I've had the chicken, the spicy chicken, the chicken alla di volo, and the chicken vesuvio, both of which are very good. And then for dessert, I've always had key lime pie.
Yeah, that was good. It was like a tart. It wasn't actually a pie. It was like a
yeah,
tart.
it's very good.
It was really good. I
Now, is
enjoyed
this a place that's priced to sort of eat at every day?
No, no, it's definitely not a place that I would recommend going to all the time. It's more, for us, it's more friends and family. If we have friends in town, we always take them there. Our family, when they come in, they love it. We've had Christmas there in the back room. It's more of a special occasion, but like I said, you don't have to feel like you're all, you don't have to get ready like you would to go down to Rush Street.
All right, Candace, you picked Erie Cafe. Sum it up for us.
I think if you're looking for a true Chicago steakhouse with an unpretentious atmosphere, but a menu that can accommodate those non-steak eating Chicagoans, I would check it out.
All right, Wendy?
I thought it was a restaurant with a real identity crisis, and I thought the service was really indifferent.
Jelani?
I think it's good for a person who's trying to impress somebody on a date. You go out to a steakhouse. The drinks are kind of cheap. They'll make something special for you. You got a big booth. I would recommend for that kind of person.
Well, you can check out the views and more at Erie Cafe, 536 West Erie, 312-266-2300. They're open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, and for dinner only on Sunday. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is $40.